Busyness. Such a funny thing, isn't it? I mean, we talk about it all the time. Think about how you talk to someone when you ask them how they're doing, or maybe they asked you. There was probably a response somewhere along the lines of, I'm good, but busy. Or, yeah, things are fine, we're just wide open. And I can't help but wonder, why? Why do we always say that? Well, I think two reasons. I think one, we're actually pretty busy. But two, I think we're afraid of what people might think if we seem like we're not. Because honestly, a performance-led life where we're trying to prove ourselves, yeah, we're getting stuff done, that feels so much more natural than trusting that God says, regardless of what you do, I say you're loved. And boy, do I know that firsthand. So my wife and I right now, we've got two small children. They're both virtually learning, we're both working, and we're both in school. People have said we're crazy. That is partially true. But I also think that we're learning through this process, if we don't slow down enough to know God's love, to experience it firsthand, man, we're missing something. Because I don't think the great danger for Christians right now is that they're going to turn away from their faith, is that we'll settle for a mediocre version of it. We suffer from hurry sickness. We're rushing to get all this done, thinking that we've got to prove something. All the while, all we needed, God already proved through Jesus. And I think John the Baptist got it. I was reading in Matthew 11 not too long ago, and he was talking about how, there's this great promise at the end of it where it says, Jesus says, hey, come to me, all who are heavy burdened, and I'll give you rest. But at the very beginning, John the Baptist is in prison, and he sends some guys out and says, hey, go make sure this Jesus is who he says he is. I think part of that is because he was left alone with his thoughts. All of a sudden, he couldn't go do all those amazing things we read about him doing. And he was left alone saying, okay, is this the one who we really thought he was going to be? And I asked that question in my own life. Do I really believe Jesus is who he says he is? I'll give you a great example. You see this rocking chair? I've worked for this ministry for 12 years. This is the first time it and I have met, okay? And that's not good. And you might say, John, seriously, 12 years you couldn't sit down in the rocking chair? I know. Part of that's because I've been busy. But that's where I can't miss what Jesus has for me. Just like we don't want that for you. Coming up on October 6th through the 8th, we're going to be talking about hope is alive. And I know it's alive because Jesus still gives rest to the heavy burdened, including people just like you.